Don't buy this one. Don't buy any dry grip. Dry grip sucks. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So first of all, apologies if this video is like the camera is gonna cut in and out. I just suck at using cameras, and if you have any tips for me on how to fix this, let me know. And for reference, in all my previous videos, I set the focus mode to manual focus so that it doesn't cut in and out because it's mostly just me talking. In this video, I set it back to autofocus so that I could show you what I'm going to do, which is gripping my racket. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say there are a million videos on how to grip a racket, but I am the most picky person when it comes to gripping a racket. And I actually don't know why. This is probably one of the most common questions I get asked on badminton is how to grip a racket. I guess on the surface it's pretty simple to grip a racket, but what I'll say is once you get into gripping a racket, everybody has their own flavor and preference, and I would say the grip matters so much. If you're a beginner watching this video, don't take it from me, but in my opinion, the grip matters so much. You need to make sure that the grip is comfortable for you. It affects the balance point. There's many different grips. There's dry grip, wet grip. And I'm not gonna get too in detail. The point of this video is to show you how I grip. You don't necessarily have to take my method or advice, but I just want to share with you how I grip. We'll do that in a few moments. If you want to just skip to how I grip, just skip to the part. Chapters are down below. Right now, I just want to start off by showing off all my grips. So let's see. I have many grips here, but okay, let's start with my favorite all-time grip these days is this one. I don't know if you can see this, but it is the Yonex Wet Super Grip. Oh, Wet Super Strong Grip. I'm showing you the good stuff. This is the one you should get, period. I actually don't know if they sell this in Canada or USA because apparently my Japanese friend told me you can only buy this in Japan. I bought this in Japan, so I don't know. Now last year I went to Japan. This one was from this year, but last year I went to Japan and I actually bought the wrong one called the Dry Super Grip. Don't get this one. Don't get this one. Horrible. With that said, I basically already finished one. It's usable, but it's really dry. Now, I don't know what kind of hands you have. I have dry hands. I'm not a sweaty person. So dry on dry does not work for me. Maybe, and I'm just making crap up right now at this point, but maybe you have wet hands, like sweaty hands, and maybe the dry grip is better. I don't know. I know towel grip is for sweaty hands. So just you do you. I'm just showcasing all my grips and what works for me. What works for me is the wet super strong grip. Let me show you more grips. Actually previous to, I would say 2 years ago, for the last 20 years of my life, I did not like Yonex grips. I didn't like Yonex grips. I think Yonex grips are overpriced. Their quality is not that great. It's good, but it's overpriced. They don't last that long either. My opinion has since changed after I tried the wet super grip, but let me show you what I have been using for 20 years before I used Yonex. This is the golden secret here, the secret of secrets. So this brand, I don't know if you can see that. It's called Kimony. Let me tell you, Kimony, 100 out of 100. This brand of grips lasts twice as long as Yonex, and they're roughly the same price. Again, very few shops in Canada. Like where I live is Vancouver. I haven't seen it in Vancouver. I actually used to be from Toronto and I moved to Vancouver, and in Toronto, one place sold this, and that's where I learned about Kimony. Obviously these I bought in Japan. I'm one of those people that go to Japan every year, so just, you know, don't be too jealous. That's just my privilege. So yeah, so Kimony. You know, today, I actually think I bought the wrong Kimony, because what you want, again, is the wet kind. Sorry, what I want, not what you want, but for my dry hands, I want wet kind. These might be the dry kind. I'm kind of looking at it, and I feel like they might be the dry kind, but let's try it. Let's go with the Kimony. What color? You know what? Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. All right, gripping my racket. Guess which racket I want to grip today. You're right. It is the 100 Sensei. My favorite all-time racket, period. Obviously, I've done many videos on this. If you haven't watched, go back and watch. This is the grip that came with the racket. I know there's stuff. I just removed the overgrip. And actually, I just want to mention, I guess this might be obvious. I thought this was obvious, but for those who are beginners watching this, complete beginners who have no clue about badminton and grip, there's actually two kinds of grip that you can do in terms of grip. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but I guess what I do is overgrip, okay? So what that means is this, on this racket here, this is the base grip that came with the racket. If you're a beginner, all I'll tell you is the norm is to put something called an overgrip on top of the base grip. I mean, there's the other kind is where people actually just use the base grip and then they remove the base grip and then put on another base grip, and you can do that too. I've never done it that way. There's also many variations, like removing the base grip, putting in like this foam thing, and then putting in overgrip. That gets complicated. I'm not gonna get into that. I could do a video on that, but today we're gonna stick to the basics. We're gonna take a racket that you buy off the shelf, like this, that comes with a base grip, and we're gonna put an overgrip. All the grips that I just talked about, they're all overgrip. Overgrips are thinner grips that, as the name suggests, go over the original grip, okay? So this is the overgrip that we're gonna use, called Kimony. So what we're gonna do is that this is literally gonna be like the most basic of basic tutorials. So I'm gonna take this, open the package. I mean, you're gonna take one of these guys out, okay? That's one grip. This pack came with 3, okay? Then how it works is usually it comes with this thing. That's the sticker that goes on top of the cone. Now, it's very important that I take this sticker and I throw it away. You heard me right. Just throw it away. Some of you pros are like, what? What did he just do? Well, I just threw it away. Okay, fine. I'll just tell you the answer. I'll save you the expense. So the reason why I have beef with that grip that comes with all of these grips, by the way, like Yonex and Kimony, any brand, that grip is like hard. It isn't too sticky. It tends to flare off the cone. So get yourself, this is a hack. Get yourself one of these. It's called like electrical tape. You can buy it from any home and hardware store. They're super cheap, or Amazon. These things are the gem for the wrapping of the cone. And we're gonna do a very specific cut on this because this is way too thick. So I will show you that at the end of this video. But for now, throw away that base grip. Now you're left with the, throw away the sticker. Now you're left with this, right? So then, you know, this is individual. So you just take one of these, like a Fruit Loop, and unroll it. And like this. Now you see you have unrolled grip here. And Voila, we have grip. Now, the next step, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of hard to see, but there's this layer of film. I'm gonna try to attempt to show you. You see that? This layer of plastic that goes on top. Next step is you're gonna remove the plastic portion from the grip. Like this. Now you've separated the plastic, and that goes away into the garbage. All right, now you have the raw grip like this, okay? Nothing special. And the very important part is at the tip end, you have this. This part is a sticker, and obviously you remove the sticker. But this is where the way different people grip differs. For me, I start the sticker at the bottom, like here, down all the way down here. But for some other people, they end this up at the cone. My beef with ending this up at the cone suggests that then you use the full grip, all of this grip. But for me, I call me a bit weird or calculative, but I don't actually use all of this grip. This is very important. I probably cut off like this amount at least. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right about this. But I cut off a good portion of this grip. That's weight that you don't need on your racket. I cut it off because I don't need that grip. I don't need that grip because, as you'll soon see, when I wrap, I'm very stingy with how I overlap it. I just want it to barely overlap. That's it. Again, all of this is just my preference because I don't want all this extra weight on the base of my grip. So that's one nuance. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to show you that I'm going to do is we're going to take this off. Actually, before we get into wrapping this, sorry I'm bouncing back and forth, but we're going to take our electrical tape and cut off because it gets messy at the end if we don't do this right now. So we're going to take a portion of this electrical tape. Very simple. We're going to just cut off a piece so that we have it readily available to wrap when our hands are tied at the very end. So you take some electrical tape, you don't need too much, and then you just take this and cut. Now this part is very important. What we're gonna do is cut like this. Basically, nothing special here. I'll just cut it and then I'll show you. Nothing special is going on here. We just don't need this much width, right? We just need a sliver of this. So unfortunately, the rest goes to waste unless you have other uses for it. Now, I actually do. I actually will grip another racket after this. So just using this. So I'm gonna, cut this. All right. So you see this, I've detached a sliver like this from here. Now I have two pieces. So I basically just cut it in half. It's kind of in a triangle shape, right? But it doesn't matter, just smaller size piece here. And then you put that aside, but nearby where you can grab it. I've just put it over there. All right, so back to this. We take this and remove the sticker. Bam. All right, so we're gonna take, this is the racket upside down. Put it here at the very base of this. We put it here like this. Okay, just put it down like this. And you're applying pressure here, okay? You're applying the pressure. And you kind of go like this, and you wrap it around. Okay, you see now? It's wrapped around once. Like that. Okay? So now, what we're gonna do is just take this and go like this. And I'll show you in a second. So you just kind of go like diagonal with this. Like that. So what I do is I use this is really hard to film actually. So you overlap it just slightly. At least that's what I like to do. Like that. And you keep going up. Right? You overlap it slightly. So I'm gonna just do it over here. Hopefully you can still somewhat see. I've watched like Victor Axelsen grip, and I've watched Lee Chong-wei grip, and Lin Dan is really weird. He like cuts off a portion. He cuts off the cone, and then he cuts off another portion of his towel grip, and then he like patches it on the cone. It's so weird. Anyway, so we just go like this, overlap, so slightly, and you're applying, like I'm pulling here, okay? Very important, so that it retains a smooth texture. Now, all right, so you see here? Okay, so right now where we're at is at the cone area. And normally most people would be like, yeah, that's good enough, and then just put a patch of tape on it. But I actually want to grip it all the way to here. Okay, like I like to grip it past the cone to here, really high up. My preference, you don't have to copy me. I like it because, well, it's kind of complicated to explain, but the higher up you grip it, the more it changes the balance point. For this Astrox 100ZZ, I find that once I grip it up to here, I turn this racket from, like I just tame the head heaviness ever so slightly, and it works out perfect for this racket. For my 88D, I also grip it up high because then it makes it a slightly less, more even balance, in my opinion. And also, you know, like when you serve, you want to hold up here in the energy boost cap. So you want to at least grip to the cone, and you want a bit more contingency up here. That's just how I think. Now, it gets a little confusing once I get to here, because obviously this is a square, like it's linear, but then you have a cone here that narrows in shape. So this is where, you know, I have this much left, okay? And I'll just do a guesstimate of how much more I need, like this. So probably need up to, like, I know this doesn't look pretty right now, but I probably need, this is the cone, gripping up to here. I probably need up to here worth, which means this portion I can cut off. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this off right here, like that. Bam. This, unfortunately, goes to waste. All right, so then I unravel this back to here because it's really not pretty, as you can see with these folds. So I'm just gonna undo this. Now I'm back down to just beneath the cone. And here, this part is gonna get really tricky to show you guys, but I am committed to showing you guys. So what I'll do is like, I'll just pull and wrap to where I can. Now I have this much. I'm gonna take this portion and cut like a diagonal up. I'll do that and then I'll show you, because this is gonna be difficult to show you. You see that? So I made this so that as I wrap up the cone, it maintains the smoothness on the grip, okay? So now that I've cut this portion off, okay, this goes to waste. And what we're gonna do, if you have a 100ZZ, okay, let me show you from afar. Okay, this is, I'm holding on to here because that's where, you see that? Cone is here. And then I've gripped, I would say, from here up to the shaft, about 2 inches. Okay, so then I'm holding on to here. This is where we will take this and slap it on. Let me show you that. You see that? So you take the tape, you slap it on, and then should be self-explanatory. You just kind of wrap it. See that? See that? All right, so that's that. So now I have a newly gripped racket. Oh, I think I might have bought the wrong Kimony grip. This isn't as grippy as the Kimony grips I'm used to. But hey, I have, you know, it's not the end of the world. I have 30 of these Yonex wet super grips. Not a sponsored video, obviously, because, you know, obviously, thank you to you, I only have 1,000 subscribers, but this is the best grip. You gotta get this grip. If you have relatively non-sweaty hands like I do, get yourself this grip. But this is Kimony, and I would say it's okay. Not as good as my previous Kimony, but make sure you just get the wet Kimony. But this is decent. This is way better than that dry Yonex grip that I accidentally bought. There we go. Now I have a newly wrapped 100ZZ, and it's my navy blue 100ZZ, guys. This is the best racket right now available in planet Earth. I know I might get hate for that, but I really do believe this is such a good racket. Although I actually, although I just came back from badminton just now, and this guy was raving about the 1000Z. You know, I think to each their own. Everybody has their own opinions. So anyway, I just want to show you how I gripped, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the camera issues. I hope you enjoyed this, and comment down below and any thoughts or questions you have. Thanks. See you in the next one. Hi everyone. Here's an update on the Kimony grip that I talked about, I guess, a few minutes ago, but actually it's been 2 weeks since I've used this. I've used this racket a total of 3 times since I changed my grip. But honestly, what I'm about to show you is shocking, because what you're about to see happened pretty much immediately after the first session of badminton after this grip was applied. So I just want you to see. It's ridiculous. So I don't know if you can see this, but look at this. Like, this is after, this started appearing 1 session after. And look at this, you know. This is, again, only like the 3rd time I've used this. 3 times. Just horrible. Horrible. Never buy this. Don't get me wrong, Kimony grip is good, but this one is, I think it's more of the dry one. Maybe I can find the model and put it down below. Don't buy this one. Don't buy any dry grip. Dry grip sucks. Maybe it's good for people with sweaty hands or something. I have no idea. I don't have sweaty hands, and this grip sucks. A few times, this racket like actually flew out of my hand because of it's so dry. Nothing up in the cone area for now. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.